pledge allegiance to the flag
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now, be sure I get the microphone so everybody can hear me. I have a bad head with that. Okay, and so the next is roll call, and looking, we have a full house of the city council members tonight, so we have a quorum. Next order of business is we've got two sets of minutes. We have our last regular scheduled meeting, which was November the 20th, and all the board members have gotten copies of those minutes. And we also had a short special meeting a week ago to approve the contract for the security that we're going to talk about tonight, because we wanted to go ahead and get that in place so we can get started and not keep that till tonight. So everybody have seen the minutes, and I think we'll just include both of them. We have a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes. Second.
Okay, Juliana, and who did second? Melanie, okay. And so anybody got any questions on those corrections? Okay, all those approving both sets of those minutes, raise your right hand. Okay, all approved. Okay, next order of business is any proclamations or recognitions. We don't have any of those. Also did not have any inputs for public comments. I'll just remind everybody that if you have public comments you want to make or a question for the city council, you can send that into the city, either mine or Tina's address. And then we ask for those 48 hours ahead of time, so we've got time to understand what the question is and be able to give you a good answer. So that's always open, and we do not have any like that this time. So the next order is reports, and we have a financial report from our recorder treasurer.
Well, basically Tina's put this together for us, and since we have our new bookkeeping system, we have a lot more information available. We're not putting a real detailed report together at this point in time, but we can give you more information if you have an individual that's looking at certain specific things. I'll be happy to do that. We'll start with the road fund, which our present balance on that is $47,551.87. The general fund, if I get on the right page here, is a balance of $176,628.75, and that is as of the 1st of the month, or the 30th of November. We have, in total, we've never getting this figure, but in total up to this point, in the general fund, we have received in rollback money $257,539. Of that, we've spent approximately $80,000, a little over $80,911. Majority of that being the payback to Garland County. We received some of the rollback funds that would normally be destined for the Garland County Detention Center under agreement. So I guess there's any questions? If not, I'll hand the mic back to Brett.
All right. Let's see. Okay. I think that's good. Appreciate that, John. Okay, the next thing is in the reports. We want to have a special report on the security contract and address that with people, let you know where we are on that. So the thing that let me see if I can just kind of start out with where we are, where we've been. You know, when the city got set up, of course, everybody knows the process. We had incorporation March 2024, but we did not have officials, therefore nothing could be done until the election in November last year. Then we got people sworn in and started, of course, we're at zero there, have nothing. We start trying to work things up to get things in place to operate. And the things that we were hearing people mostly interested in was, at least I was, the building inspection process, and we've got things in place, got that rolling. The other was security. You know, we used to have a police force, and since it was disbanded, there's been a lot of angst that I hear about, and wanted to improve that. Now, as a city, you know, policing is one of our responsibilities. And so we started looking at what was the approach for that. I talked to other mayors and talking to other people about how to handle it, cities our size. And it's really equivalent to have a police force or a city marshal. They have to meet the same requirements, they have to do the same things. But city marshal is usually used for smaller towns. There is some special wording in there in terms of things they can do to support the mayor and support the city council. So we decided to look at going the city marshal route. So we passed an ordinance establishing a city marshal office would be what we would set up. Patty did a lot of the reading and looking. We also talked to our city attorney and other people about what's required. Once you start digging into it, as you can imagine, setting up a new law enforcement agency requires a lot. There's a lot of requirements. There's requirements in the vehicles, there's requirements for the officers, obviously requirements for the certification of the officers, the equipment you have to have, there's lots of things involved. There's an enormous set of policies that have to be in place to meet state law. And so that was a big issue in terms of how do we get this in place. And we needed help on that. So in this contract, or in this working with this company we've contracted with, they are law enforcement professionals. They understand these requirements and policies and such, and will help us pull those together. And what has to happen is when we get everything, we feel like we've met all the requirements and got a program in place that will pass, we have to go to, be sure I get the name right. Yeah, it's long enough. Yeah. Well, I thought I wrote it down, but anyway, tell me again.
Commission on Law Enforcement.
Yeah, Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and Training. So we have to go before them and present what we've got laid out and the whole process, and they either send us back to do something else that we've got to fill in, or they approve us as a new law enforcement agency. And at that point, then we can operate. Now, we want to have things in place, and so, including city marshal selection. So this is things we'll be going through in the next numbers of months. But in the meantime, we wanted to have security, what we could provide while we're getting that set up. Now, we started off talking with the sheriff's office and had a number of conversations back and forth, and with the county judge, and just did not get a satisfactory approach that we felt like was going to be right for us. So that's when we started talking to these gentlemen with the life safety and security, and so what we've ended up doing now then is contracting with them for security within the city of Diamond Head. Now, right now, we're incorporated on the Garland County side. We're working to annex the Hot Spring County side. So they will patrol the Garland County side. Now, there's an area that they have to go through to get to that one island of Garland County. So if they're going through there and see something, they will act. But they'll really just be patrolling in the Garland County side. And besides patrolling, they will have phone numbers that we can give out, so that if there's an issue, if there's a need for help, then people can call and go. It will go to the guard in the vehicle and be able to get help or get whatever is needed there. So Anyway, they can, like I say, respond on issues. We've had cases where, you know, there's been trespassing, there's been, just, there's been, speeding. They won't really, you know, that's another thing though, they are security guards, they are law enforcement personnel, but they cannot function as law enforcement here because we don't have that approval. So, and they'll explain, you know, more of this too, but, so they won't write tickets and they cannot arrest. But if there's a situation that needs control, they know how to do that. They can detain people until they get, sheriff's department and they've talked and worked with our constable, to be able to come and they have those powers then. So we can move toward that if there's a situation that needs it. Hopefully those are extremely rare, far between, maybe never, but, anyway, we'll have that. Now, once the city marshal gets in place and we get that approved and set up, I think we want an overlap time of at least 2 months, so that these people who know the community, who've been providing security for us in this 8-hour period, will be able to work with the new city marshal and transition basically to the marshal being able to do the full function, and at that point the contract would be completed and ended then. So that's kind of the way we're looking at it. So TJ, I would, if you're ready, I would turn the microphone over to you and let you talk a little bit about how y'all function, the way you see this, and then if anybody has questions, then you can ask at that point.
Hello. Sorry, I'm not really a public speaker, so I guess what we'll do is if you guys have any questions for us, we're more than happy to help. I'm one of the owners. Mike is also an owner. Mike also runs the day-to-day. So he'll be the one that deals with the guards that are actually going to be here. And if there's any issues that needs to be escalated beyond them, he'll be the first point of contact. So does anybody have?
Be continuing on as a roving patrol type scenario?
Yes, sir.
There's no building or any place where you're gonna be nesting or anything like that right now?
We're planning on,
Could you do, one
taking
second,
off.
could you do me a favor and just, repeat the question just a little bit so that we have that on tape and I can get that into the minutes?
Sure, he asked if there was only gonna be roving patrol or if there was gonna be a centralized area for us to look at. So in general, yes, we will have a roving patrol, our units outside that you'll see regularly. You may see them parked on occasion at the realty office here. Restrooms sometimes will be, like you said, when we're working on the reports or if we're working on the marshal service stuff, they may have to go over there to get better internet or something like that, you know, for a little bit of time. But for the most part, it's roving. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain to everybody what your training and certifications are?
Yeah, so she's asked about our training and our certifications. Our guys are trained as guards. Some of our employees are also law enforcement. So myself, I'm a reserve deputy with Garland County, and I'm also on the SWAT team. One of our deputies, in fact, one of our officers, the one that you're gonna see tomorrow,